It can be really hard to create an organic drawing when coloring with the iPad. It tends to look too clean and lifeless unless you put a lot of extra hours in there. At the same time, lots of great effects and deep shadings with good contrast can take forever when drawing traditionally. So I will show you today how to take the best of two worlds to create amazing artworks in very little time. Make sure to watch the whole video so you won't miss out on any of the tips you need to know. My name is Dr. Rocke and now it's time to draw! I prepared a quick sketch of Son Goku, which we will color now with Copic markers. But we will do this really fast and just focus on the base colors. When coloring on the iPad, we need to use the mask tool quite a lot, which is boring and takes a lot of time. And after the basic colors are done, the digitally colored drawing looks extremely clean. With Copic markers, the process of coloring the base goes way quicker and already brings a lot of life in the drawing. We don't need to concentrate too much on depth and contrast in this step. Just color the drawing nicely with the base tones. And be as loose as you can be, but still try to stay in the lines. This also works when you draw tighter than in my sketch, so feel free to use inks or more clean outlines. Done with the first step of the coloring process, and this didn't even take 20 minutes. You can see there's a lot of in here already, but it's way too boring. With some extra layers of marker strokes and colored pencils, we would be able to create a cool and high in contrast drawing, but that would take a lot of extra time. And in no way would we be able to do a cool background like we will be able to do with PROCREATE in just a few minutes. Which means it's time for the iPad. Now we take a picture of the drawing, or if you have a scanner, you can scan it in and send it to your iPad via email. We can use the photo app to get a higher contrast. The saturation could also be increased, so your colors getting more vibrant immediately. Then we open PROCREATE and use the photo as our canvas. Now we open the layers, choose the one we have here and go way up there to multiply. Then we create a new layer, put this one beneath that one. And when we draw on this layer now, it simply adds up to the original drawing. But before we do that, we create an extra new layer, this time above the actual drawing. Then we choose the drawing layer again. Now we are choosing the mask tool, put it on automatic, and just click in here. And now all the background is chosen. Again to the other layer. And now I'll just choose whatever color to color the background. So we have a basic background color, which also means, and that's the reason why I wanted to do this firsthand, when we draw on our drawing layer now, we will not draw anywhere but on the drawing, which is quite nice, so we don't have to be too careful to draw over the line. But since we're already talking about the background, let's do the background real quick. We will create another layer above the background, then we click right here and use clipping mask right there. Now everything we draw will just be on this layer. Now I will take these because I want to create a really cool background with a lot of smoke-like clouds. How big are they? And now I just see what I can do. So he's a bit white in the background, which will look awesome. Then, just to be sure, I will create a new layer, also clipping mask. It also clips on this one now, and now I will choose a very dark tone. Let's just go with about this. And now I will do that. Take a look. It's a bit too dark. I will go more in a reddish tone, I guess. Yeah, that's more like the look I wanted to achieve. And if I don't like it, it's just on an extra layer, so it's always good to create some more extra layers. Already starting to look pretty cool. And I'm pretty confident that I want to have some extra darker areas, so I stay on the layer just to save time. And you can see we already are creating such great contrast. We would have not been able to do this with the Copic markers. And especially not in like, I don't know, a minute and a half or something like that. So, that's a cool background already. I might change it a bit, but now I have a bit of a background which already looks cool, and so it's way more fun to continue with the drawing. Which means it's time to intensify our drawing and put some contrast in Sangoku. And therefore we will use the layer we created beforehand, the one beneath the actual drawing, and then we will do this to get like the skin tone. Now we have the skin tone and choose a way darker version of it. About that. And now I would like to use this brush. You can also use the round one, but I prefer this one. This is about the opacity I would like to use. And the size of the brush needs to be adjusted to whatever we want to draw on. So I want to intensify this shadow right here. So let's just go ahead and do it like that. A bit smaller so I can work better. And also here a bit. And then we can use this one. So we could smudge all the shadings we are just doing. We just did. And you can see how intense this already looks. Way better. When I get rid of the layer, just so you can see what we've done. You can see, looks way better already. You can also use a very small brush size, just like that. And then you use the smudging tool again and smudge it so it looks good. You see? Works perfectly. And since everything is colored already and we have this layer on multiply, it's no big deal if we do not work very precise. Because as you can see, you can't really recognize the skin tone in here. It's not a problem. I can remove it, of course, but it's not bad. It's just a dark tone. Of course, we will use a tone similar to this one when we do the closing. And we will do the same thing. Just go darker here. Now we can use it on the close. Look how beautiful this works. But same here, if we are going over the flesh part, the fleshy part, it's not big of a deal. It's just working. And if it looks like that and you don't like it, use the smudge tool and smudge it together. Look how easy and fast this goes. Voila! And now we just have fun and finish the drawing. And as you might remember, the background layer is above the layer we are drawing on, so it cannot be touched when we draw like this. And just to be sure, for every color we will create an extra layer, so we can fiddle around with those colors extra if you want to. You can see it just like that. What a bit much. I'm just messing around here, as you can see. Then I take the smudging tool again and smudge it all out. This is actually a lot of fun. And should you still think, let's just say you want to draw like this and you don't like the shadow you created down there, you just take the eraser and erase it like this. Goes really fast as well. And again, this is not really beautiful, so I'll smudge it again And it looks cool, just like that. It's really not a lot that's necessary to make this drawing look very cool. Again, the smudging, a bit bigger of course. Look at that, so much life in there already. This goes so fast, it's amazing. Of course you could use masks, but it's not necessary. Just look at that. And after 5 or 6 minutes I'm done with this part. Now I want to also create some highlights. Therefore we will use an extra layer, but this time above the drawing, because this is on multiply and the bright colors aren't working too good on that. So a layer above there, then we choose plain white. We reduce the opacity to about this area, and now we just, oh, wrong tool, there's the pencil. Now we can do that, so it's getting lighter, and then we smudge it again. You see, works brilliantly as well. So we can just create an even better contrast. If it's too much, like here, we smudge it again. And you can also use this on really small surfaces and small details like this one. Of course you have to be careful because you can draw over everything now. But it's not really a problem, just do that. Then smudge it again a bit. And if it's too much, we use the eraser. And voila, done. And on really bright areas, we even draw above the line. Looks nice. I will also keep it quite bright up there in the hair. So I will get a bit of a glowing effect. Because the hair is quite near to the light source. There I have to be a bit more careful, so I don't have to erase too much. I want to stick to smudging, just like that. Look how cool this looks already. I will do all this on the same layer, it's not a problem. Painting on the iPad with light speed. And if it happens that something gets too extreme like this here, just take the eraser, go to airbrush so you can find it, here it is. Take the first one and lower the opacity quite a lot. See that it's not too big. And now we can erase this one and the intensity is fading. See? Now I want to intensify this even more. I created an extra layer above this one. Now I will take the light one, the lights. It's called light pen or something like that. And now I will use it up here and create a lot of light where the light hits the most. Those light effects are looking so good, you wouldn't be able to do those without an airbrush. So the iPad is great for those. Now take a look how cool this already looks, and it took me like another 20 minutes to do all these things on the iPad. And the last thing I want to do now is create another layer above the background layer. And now we will use the freehand mask tool and add some rays. Now we take the pencil and again we go to airbrush, take the first one right there, make it quite big and do that. just with white. Looks pretty cool. Might be a bit too intense, so I will just take the whole layer and lower the opacity. I guess that's about right. Nice! So we took this and made it into this in really no time. And that's a pretty cool achievement, I dare say. And that's it for today's video. Make sure to check out my Instagram channel for drawings like these. You can also watch all of the progress steps. I put them in the post there all the time. And other than that, I would like you to go now and watch this video. There I give you a ton of tips for Procreate. I really put a lot of effort in this one. It's all you need to know is in there. Trust me. Watch it till the end, of course. There are so many tips and tricks, so you will love it. If you use Procreate, you need to see this video. So see you there, my friends.